All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Stacy Alden, and I am here again with Jacob Thomas from Razor Sharp Fitness in Wisconsin. I'm going to again introduce him, but we are doing a three-part series. So we're on the third part. It's almost sad that we're finishing up this series, but I'm sure we'll have Jacob back for more. We are talking today about the benefits, the kind of underlying benefits that he's realized by doing his awesome fitness consultation program for new members. So we've talked about the what, the how, and now really is kind of the why when it comes to as a leader, how he's seen it benefit his team, benefit his business, and then really benefit their future as a club together, even during these insane times. So quick introduction of Razor Sharp Fitness and Jacob is that he has been a personal trainer, sports performance coach, group exercise instructor, sales associate. He's really done probably every role in the fitness industry and now oversees the club as a general manager for Razor Sharp. And he was recognized in 2020, craziest year to be recognized for this, which is good because that's why he's here, as the International Health and Racket Sports Association's Rising Star. And if you haven't heard of IRSA, is what they're also known as, check them out. And they have been a really great asset for us as club owners and facility, workers that in the fitness industry to help us through this as well. So they're a great company to get to know. But their facility has worked very hard during this time to not only, of course, maintain their membership, but also build their membership through these fitness consultation programs. And so I'm super excited today to really ask Josh about Josh, what am I saying? Jacob. It's been a long week for me. We actually just shut down our club again, so I'm finding every ounce of my brain I can find. But Jacob, I'm going to ask him 3 questions about that process and how he really found that it benefited their team and the club. So first is really, besides the increase in memberships, what are some of the additional benefits this program has provided for your club?
That's a great question. The first one that I really thought about through this was just the percentage of our members that went through this process. And I think I talked about in the past couple of weeks, we had a different process before, which a lot of us have, which is, hey, here's a new member, put them in front of a personal trainer. Here's a personal training demo, and we'll try selling personal training, trying to get them integrated. If they don't do it, then they kind of do get lost on their own for the most part. So we started figuring out, what that percentage was last year. And we've been doing it for probably, I think, about 10 years now. And we hovered around that 45% of our new members doing that program. And it never got better. We threw money at it. We did so many different things, and it didn't get any better. So one of the big parts of this program was, how can we get more people doing it? And now I would still say my numbers aren't as good as I want them to be. We still want to make it better. But right now we're at 64% of our members doing the fitness consultation program, which is, again, 20% increase is a great number. And even better than that, 86% of those are actually so it's a total of 86% of people scheduling. So we still have a good number of cancellations and no-shows. And I think some of that has to do with ultimately what's going on in the pandemic and all those kind of things. But ultimately, it's still somewhere that we can improve. But to have 64% is just a fantastic number for us, and one that we are really excited to just continue to improve upon as we get better and better at this process. The next one is new members loving their membership right away. So I went into Medallia and I started doing some research on what our new members, our 0 to 90-day members, how they rated us from their member experience and their net promoter score. And so in 2019, we had a 65.9 NPS score for our new members, which 65.9 I feel pretty excited about. It's a good number. But I've now looked since that time, since we implemented the fitness consultation, our NPS is 69.4 for those same members. And even more interestingly is we just are getting comments about the process we never got comments about the Kickstart. We're getting comments, and I have one that I just got, actually came in today. The health evaluation in the beginning was very encouraging. She found tactful and positive ways to address changes I can make. And that is everything we want. Everything we're going for is how can we just connect with this person, help them get what they are looking for out of their membership. So those are the kind of things we're getting from it. And that is, I think, just a huge number. If we can have that be already higher, it's going to help that lifespan of the member be better too. And the third one, testimonials. Testimonials are the lifeblood, especially for health and wellness centers. And we actually, for the first time ever, have like a pipeline of people that are willing to do testimonials. And it's because, again, they're just more integrated. They're more involved. They have more connections. And so we actually have like it laid out for a couple months of how we'll be able to do these testimonials and be able to get them out to members, and all different kinds of stories, people from different demographics and level fitness levels, all of that are coming out. So we have 21, 22-year-olds going through it, and also 75-year-olds, 80-year-olds going through the program. So it's really, it kind of gives that diverse look at what we're trying to be as a health and wellness center too. And I was actually just talking to Stacey a little bit about the whole numbers today that I thought were just astounding. This year, so we started in February 15th, 2020, doing fitness consultations. We've sold 695 fitness consultations this year. And that's a crazy number. Again, we're extremely blessed to be able to say that. But I had compared it to last year. In the Kickstart process that we did 647 Kickstarts last year. And that's a really, really big number. That's a whole lot of Kickstarts, which is great. It also cost us $11,000 plus to do all of those Kickstarts. And with that, again, part of this fitness consultation I think has been amazing is that we're charging for it. More people are coming to it, but it's also created a revenue stream for us as well. And so with those 695 fitness consultations, it's over $35,000 of revenue for us, which is just a phenomenal, again, another phenomenal number too. And we're averaging less than 8 hours a month of those Kickstarts, those personal training demos that people can do after that fitness consultation. If they're interested in training but don't sign up at that time, or just want to learn something on the fitness floor, anything like that. So we're getting people when they're excited and they're doing what they're interested in. And with that, we are converting 45% of our members that go through the fitness consultation into additional services. Last year, again, having it be about 40 to 45% of our new members going through the program, we were converting about 30 to 33%. So we have more people in and we're converting more people into additional services. And as we talked about, don't get me wrong, we know as a fitness industry, if you get a personal trainer, if you have a nutrition coach, if you have a massage therapist, again, you're going to get the results you're looking for. You're going to enjoy your membership more. So we want to encourage those things, but by all means, this isn't a sales piece like it was before. This is still much more a retention piece, but people are appreciating that and signing up for more services from it. So I think that's one that we've learned has been fantastic. And I think the most important one, I kind of saved it for last, is really the one specific focus. It wasn't we just created the fitness consultation and that's what we were going to start doing. It was just a program and here we are doing it. Instead, it was really a paradigm and a mindset change for the entire club, the culture of the club, but we made sure that it followed our vision and our mission, and to make sure that we were really taking care of the member and making sure that our employees were in front of people that really wanted them to be there too. So even from this, we built a brand new onboarding program for our employees to go through this from these changes that we made. We're constantly looking for those pain points in our member journey. We're always looking for ways. How can we adapt? How can we evolve? And then we're really valuing every single interaction that we have. And we're creating that opportunity. And that, again, kind of goes back to the onboarding process as well. We're teaching that as people come in. But now we've created presentations focused around member experience. Like, for instance, the Chick-fil-A video, every life has a story. Like, that's a big staple for us to utilize. And so many more that we use But again, it's become a huge focus, a huge point of every single thing that we do, coming from this idea. And then last but not least is not only listening and reading what our members are saying about us, but also starting to act on it. And we've been doing Medallia for 3.5 years, and we get those surveys that, oh well, we can't do anything about that, or that this is what we've always done. We don't need to make that change, and we're trying not to rest on those laurels. And even during this time, even more so, while people are pivoting and making changes and doing whatever they can to adapt and survive, even more during this time, don't rest on those laurels. Be willing to try something different, and ultimately it can pay some great dividends for you. Again, if you're doing it for the right reasons, with that mission statement and with those core values in mind.
That is so good. I just hope everyone was taking a lot of notes. I love that Jacob has provided us with some really tangible numbers so that you can really hear how it's benefited that club, but also it helps to hear that himself as a leader, which we'll get into later, and his team, his leadership team, that it can be kind of scary, as you mentioned, to change the ways of what you've done for so long. And I think what we all need to understand is that consumer behavior is changing during this time as well. And so unless we do adapt, like they are having to adapt as well, then there's going to be an issue. So it's remembering that we're all adapting through this, and there's a lot more. You are so true. It's so correct what you said about people being more willing to experience change within their club, and then the members themselves. So they're more forgiving about change. They're more, they're like, I'm just here to enjoy my fitness. They just trust your club very much. So so the next question I have for Jacob is, when you look back, and I was saying before our interview, I was like, this is kind of a cheesy question, but I just want to know how he feels about all of this. So when you look back at what you've accomplished and what you continue to do and have learned, how does it make you feel?
First one is that I'm so proud of my team. This was a lot to take in. It was a huge, massive change. And honestly, I think I talked about this in really our first interview, was we were doing just fine. We didn't have issues with the Kickstart process. We didn't have issues. I mean, again, 65.9 as an NPS is a great number to have. It's not like people weren't enjoying what we were doing, but we just felt we could do more. We could be more than what we were, and we were willing to take the plunge. We had so many questions that we had no idea what the answer was going to be. And the first one was, are people just going to walk out the door if they have to pay this $59 fitness consultation when they don't want anything to do with it, right? And that hasn't been the case. Are they going to just not? Are they not going to sign up? Or are they going to fight us tooth and nail for $59 and we'll just cave in and no, well, a membership is more important and we won't worry about this. And we really stood strong on that, and again had no issues from it. We don't even really have to have that conversation. We took every single PT sale away from our personal trainers. So I have taken that 647 touches that they had a year ago, and I've completely removed that from all of them. And they need to be able to trust me and be like, hey, you know what? We have faith that this process can still do what we were able to do, which was it's not normal, right? I mean, it's just a different feel and a different touch, and they allowed me to do it. And again, the result, the more conversions that we're having and all that, they now realize that there was pieces that were missing, and so that was again, just really, really proud of that. I could see all of them while we were in these meetings with those cartoon bubbles above their head that were like, how in the heck is this all going to come together? Like Jacob makes it sound super easy, neat little package, roses and butterflies, like I pretty much always do. I'm an optimist that way. But is this really going to work out that way? And ultimately they saw that bigger picture and how we could be better. And they took hold of it. And then not only that, and you talked about it a little bit too, like we incorporated everybody. We incorporated group exercise instructors, front desk, personal trainers, management team. Everybody went through this process before we did it. Everybody learned about the process even before we brought it in. And And so I think that just bringing all of it together and having the team rally around it and do it so well, it's so rewarding. And then probably the second one, which this is a little bit selfish too, is like relief. You know, this is really scary. My owner allowed me to do really whatever I wanted to do with this. And I've made decisions before that work out great. I've made more than enough decisions that don't work well at all. And this is one that not only has worked well, but it has changed the culture. It's changed the outlook and the feel of everything that we do here. And that is just, it's such a comforting, but ultimately a relief too of, we made the right decisions. We did it the right way. And that's, again, especially during these very, very difficult times of this pandemic, there's a feeling of some reward there, which I know a lot of people are striving for and looking for at this time. And like I said, that's been a huge one for us.
Absolutely. And it's so true when at the beginning of your statement on that question was we tend to think that we assume people are not going to pay for something or they're not going to do something. But then, like you had said earlier, if you do it for the right reasons and if there really is that value there, I think what you've discovered is that people just kind of, and you didn't make the price absurd. You made it achievable, and you're like, yeah, sure. And there's value there versus what we've spoke about before, that
And
initiation fee, not so much.
it's funny too, because I actually initially had the price a little bit lower on it. And then when
Yeah.
I presented it to my team, this was before we even had it like in place. I presented it to my team and I was like, this is everything that it is. I had everybody go through it and they're like, it's worth more than that. And my membership team was like, we can sell it for more than that. And I
Uh,
was like, you guys aren't going to fight me on this tooth and nail. Like this
that's
is
awesome.
the scariest thing for all of
Yeah.
the salespeople, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, nope, we want it to be 59 across the board, both clubs. And
Wow.
sure enough, they've done it.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. No, and that's what I think is a testament to your leadership is that you're willing to listen to your team, you're willing to work with your team and get them involved because they want to and they look forward to that. And I think being so transparent with them during this time and trusting them and them in turn trusting you has been really helpful, I'm sure. But the last question, this is kind of based on your team and based on you as a leader. What would you say are some of the lessons that you've learned as a leader and that you look forward to kind of continuing on? Because you have built this momentum with this new program that it's, I'm sure, exciting to think about what else you can do.
Absolutely. I think it's that consistency to be looking at what we can do better. And I'll go back to it again. Like, just don't settle for being good. Don't settle for what you've always done. Um, there's opportunities there, and even with that, make sure you stay within those missions and core values that you set for yourself. And as long as you're playing inside of that world, my quote for this year is do the right things for the right reasons, and ultimately you're going to get the right results. And that's what we live by, not only from our members, but we're talking about staff as well. And how can we make sure that we're taking care of them the best that we can? And ultimately, I think what comes from this is I now think about it. Why in the world weren't we doing this before? There was like this clearly makes so much sense, and it's been a part of our fabric that we should have been able to see a while ago. Why just now? So don't miss out on those opportunities. The next thing that might be the thing that's holding you back. And it's out there. There's always that little something that we can do better on. You just have to be willing to look for it, and it'll come there. But you got to constantly be looking for it. And then really remember how powerful your team is. So my team is, I found out, even more powerful than I could have imagined, because
Yeah.
when you get their buy-in, you get their feedback. And again, I would have charged this program for less than what we currently do, and they all told me not to. And again, I got them involved in it, and they were able to just explode on talking to members about it, being excited about it, and wanting to be a part of it. And when they're moving in that same direction, there's not a whole lot that can stop a team like that. And last but not least is really personalization is the key. And it goes back a little bit to what I was talking about: do the right things for the right reason, you'll get the right results. And you have to be able to personalize that not only for those members, but for your staff too. And if you can get in front of them and personalize how you treat them, how you learn about them, everybody is so different, even during these times, especially.
Yeah.
So different. You learn so much more about people than you ever learned before, and be willing to be open and accepting of that information. And you'll see there's so much there that you can take away, and people are looking for people. There was a webinar today with Blair and Bill McBride and Brent Garden, the Rex and Ursa webinar, and Blair brought out a great point in there that was talking about. I got to remember what I was thinking there. That people want connections now. They want to be engaged with something. They want to be together, and I agree. I think there's been so much takeaway from that idea that people are even more searching for how they can get that and how they can be a part of it. And I think they're going to be willing to do a lot to be a part of a group, to be a part of a culture and a community, unlike they've ever been before.
I agree so much. And really, at the beginning of that statement, when you were saying that as leaders, we have to be like human right now. And I think that I was speaking with someone else today that we were like, the fitness industry needs to try to get out of its own way and think outside the box of avoid what we've always done, and to also think about how our employees and the people we work with every day are either going to get stronger by this challenge because we're there with them and we rally with them, or it can go a totally wrong way if there's not enough morale or support or everyone being on the same page. So I think you said everything right in that statement, and you're right about people and connection, and I think that personal experience, whether it's one-on-one or a group, the value of it even right now, because it's in such short supply, it's almost non-existent. It's like supply and demand. It's very hard to get, and people are craving it, like you said. And I cannot thank you, speaking of people, enough for your time, your more than 3 hours of time each week, planning ahead, getting the links to this site, and going live with me for everyone to learn about your story, your club story. And you are, I think, an inspiration as a leader, and it's exciting to watch you continue to be the rising star that as Ursa calls you. But we appreciate again your time being here today and the past two weeks. And I'll be sure to again share this everywhere and share more about Razor Sharp Fitness. And I so look forward to continue to work together as much as we can.
Likewise, thank you, Stacy. This has been awesome. And if anybody has questions or anything like that, as I really said the last couple of weeks, like I just want to do everything I can to help the fitness industry. I've been blessed with some people who have helped, even get me, on here to be with Stacy, and to really be able to share our story, our journey. But I want to be able to help. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, jthomas@razorsharpfit.com. And you guys can, however you want to connect with me, Facebook, Instagram. I'll be happy to work with you, talk with you through especially these difficult times we're in.
Absolutely. And we will see you around happy holidays. It's that time of year. Depending on when people watch this, they might be like, what are they talking about? But again, thank you so much, Jacob. And I'll see you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Stacey.